Hi, Dobby here. Today I'm going to show you how to change the oil on this 2011 C4 Grand Picasso. This first step is optional. I'm going to be running this engine flush through the car, so you get the car up to temperature, tip it in the engine and then let it run for 5 minutes. Doing this will help clean any unwanted deposits out of the engine. Now onto the main part. To remove the sump plug, use a 21mm socket. These can be quite tight, but once it's loose, just spin it out by hand. Make sure your drain pan is in place and you're wearing gloves. I forgot to put any on here. The oil will be very hot, so be careful. Here's some footage of your oil draining out. I know it can be quite boring, but I thought I'd leave it in just so you can see it happening. Now we're back up the top of the engine. We have to remove the air intake pipe to get to the oil filter. The oil filter is hidden between these two coolant pipes. It's a 27mm socket to remove the oil filter. It can be quite tight, so just crack it loose and then remove it. Now it's time to replace the oil filter. This can be quite tough, but just pull on it and wiggle it, it will come loose. Now it's time to remove the old O-ring. These are quite tough. I use a pick for this. As you can see in the video, you just wiggle it under and pull it out. Now it's time to fit the new filter. This is done by pushing it in until you hear it pop into place. To fit the new O-ring, you slide it over the top and make sure it sits flush in the little groove where the old one came out of. As you can see, the O-ring is sitting completely flush. Now it's time to put the oil filter housing back onto the engine. This is the reverse of how we took it out, so wiggle it between the coolant pipes, line it up and then start to tighten it down. Now that it is hand tight, we'll be torquing it down to 24 Newton meters. Next up, we'll be removing the old cross washer. Just pull it off the sump plug and then replace it with a new one. It's now time to reinstall the sump plug. Start by wiping off any excess oil and threading it back in by hand. Once you have it started, you can switch to a ratchet and tighten it down. The sump plug is torqued down to 34 Newton meters. Now it's time to refill the oil. It takes around about 4 litres to refill. Just take your time. I like to add about a litre at a time and then check the dipstick. Once it's at the full mark, it's time to start the engine to prime the oil filter. And now one last check of the oil. The job's done. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you'd like to see more from me, please drop me a like and sub to the channel. Once again, thank you for watching Dobby's Repairs.